One of the most damaging wildfires in California's history has recently struck, particularly in Los Angeles. Strong Santa Ana winds and climate change have exacerbated the flames, which have destroyed homes and woods and caused extensive destruction. The disruption of thousands of lives has resulted in a protracted and challenging recovery process. The impact of the fires, the attempts to put them out, and the tenacity of the communities banding together to rebuild are all chronicled in this account. Massive wildfires have ravaged areas of the United States in recent weeks, especially California and Los Angeles, leaving communities reeling from the devastation and unable to recover. As the destruction continues, these flames have swiftly emerged as one of the year's most devastating natural catastrophes, garnering attention on a national and worldwide scale. Entire neighborhoods have been turned to ash due to the fire's extreme severity, leaving thousands of individuals without a place to live, entire families uprooted, and many facing an uncertain future. These flames have many underlying causes, and both natural and man-made elements contribute to their ferocity and quick spread. The strong, dry Santa Ana winds that are typical in the area during the hot summer and fall months are the main cause of the fire's intensity. Known for swiftly spreading flames across large areas, these winds, which may reach up to 70 miles per hour, make it nearly impossible for firefighters to contain the fire. The winds have been especially strong this year, which has allowed the fires to spread rapidly. Once a tiny fire, it has grown into a gigantic conflagration that is destroying cities and villages along its route. The persistent effects of climate change, which have increased the intensity of these wildfires, are making matters worse. Prolonged droughts in California over the past 5 years have produced dry conditions that make vegetation extremely combustible. In addition to the drought, the area's warming temperatures have also made the terrain drier, which has made it ideal for wildfires to flourish. Fires are bigger, spreading more quickly, and becoming more difficult to contain than ever before due to a mix of dry winds, intense heat, and parched ground. These fires are now yearly events rather than isolated instances, with the frequency and intensity of burning increasing each year. The extent of the fire's devastation has been astounding. Fires have devastated neighborhoods in Los Angeles, including Eaton Canyon and Pacific Palisades. Public infrastructure, commercial buildings, and residential buildings have all been devastated. The evacuation has resulted in the loss of homes, belongings, and a lifetime of memories for thousands of families. Although emergency shelters have been established to give the displaced people temporary homes, the system is overburdened by the sheer volume of persons impacted. Uncertain of when or if they will ever be able to return to their homes, many are sleeping with friends and family or in temporary shelters. The ecology has suffered greatly as a result of the flames. There has been a significant loss of wildlife, vegetation, and trees. Animals now lack habitats, and some species are in danger of going extinct as a result of the burning of forests that were once vital ecosystems for many species. The biodiversity of the area will be negatively impacted for years, if not decades, once these natural ecosystems are destroyed. The number of people killed by the fires is rising. Unfortunately, people have died. Law enforcement, firefighters, and paramedics are among the first responders who have been on the front lines, working nonstop to save property and save lives. While some have valiantly fought the flames and returned home fatigued and coated in ash, many have risked their lives to remove individuals from perilous regions. At least 24 individuals have died as a result of the flames, despite their best attempts. Hundreds more have been hurt, and thousands more are suffering from the smoke and dangerous air quality. The air quality is dangerous for those who are still there because of the dense smoke from the flames that have engulfed Los Angeles and the neighboring areas. The smoke has posed health dangers, even to people who were not in the direct line of the fire. Many individuals, especially the elderly and children, have been compelled to stay indoors to avoid breathing in the poisonous air, as a result of hospitals being overcrowded with patients with respiratory conditions. The region's air quality is predicted to be negatively impacted for months by the environmental harm brought on by the smoke and the flames themselves. The world community has come together to offer assistance in the wake of this disaster. Firefighters from Canada and Mexico have joined the fight against the fires. The United Nations has offered humanitarian and technical assistance in solidarity with the impacted people. Even nations like Ukraine, which are located far from the crisis site, have volunteered to assist with firefighting. The resources and morale-boosting support that international aid has given to those on the front lines have been crucial. The President of the United States has been to the impacted regions on a national level and promised to make resources accessible and offer federal aid to ensure a speedy recovery. To assist impacted areas in returning to normalcy, the federal government has committed financing for recovery activities, rebuilding initiatives, and firefighting operations. Local groups and communities have come together to offer the victims assistance on the ground. Those in need have received food, water, and medical supplies from volunteers and nonprofit organizations. Businesses in the area have stepped forward to provide goods and shelter, and community centers and churches have developed into gathering places for support. The fortitude and camaraderie exhibited by Californians and others demonstrate the power of communities in the face of hardship. Large groups have stepped up and provided financial help in the interim. Los Angeles sports teams raised $8 million to help with recovery efforts, and the band Metallica gave $500,000 to aid wildfire relief efforts. The victims have benefited from these deeds of kindness in the short term, but it will take time and effort to fully recover. The process of recovering won't be simple. The enormous burden of repairing infrastructure, cleaning up the environment, and attending to the mental health of individuals impacted by the tragedy of losing their homes and loved ones will be in addition to the reconstruction of dwellings. In addition to destroying trees and structures, the fires have left the survivors with severe emotional wounds. As they deal with the psychological effects of the tragedy, many may require help and counseling. A clear reminder of the increasing influence of climate change on natural disasters is provided by the wildfires in California and Los Angeles. What used to be seen as a sporadic natural event has now become commonplace, and it is only anticipated that the frequency and severity of these catastrophes will rise. These flames will probably become increasingly more common and devastating in the upcoming years, resulting in substantially more loss of life, property, and ecosystems if global action to combat climate change is not taken. In summary, the California wildfires represent a worldwide wake-up call, rather than only a local tragedy. They draw attention to the pressing need for action to lessen the consequences of climate change and to make investments in sustainable practices that can lower the likelihood of future tragedies of this kind. The road ahead will be lengthy and challenging as Californians attempt to restore their homes and communities. However, there is hope that future disasters can be avoided, and the damage can be reduced with sustained assistance from the local and international communities, and a concentrated effort to address the underlying causes of climate change.